Mike was on mute this whole time. Okay, so now we're starting for real. God damn it. Welcome back to Like Us Pod. I'm your host, Erin Jones-Wesley, through these bonus episode play-by-plays of the Real Housewives of Rhode Island and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We reached the finale in Rhode Island, and I'm on video today. So, hey, how's it going? I feel like with this Rhode Island finale, if you will, I feel like it was time for the Rhode Island finale. Sorry, hate to say it, but I feel like Rhode Island was starting to run on a circle storyline. Things were getting not interesting, and it was just time to wrap it up. And I think that we can bring everyone back for next season. I think next season the producers has their work cut out for them to figure out how to make 18 episodes, because I feel like by the 12th episode of this season, there was not much more to say, right? And so we will see Rula and Brian, but I don't want any more Brian, Rula, Joellen. Like, I'm bored of that storyline already, and I don't want to. I've seen what I needed to see. Rula's delusional. Joellen is nosy. We got to move on. Sorry, we got to move on. We got to see. We got to see more stuff. And this episode, it starts. We're gonna get right into Rhode Island, and then we'll go to Atlanta. But I'm traveling, and I'm in between like conferences, so I'm gonna try my best to do this all in one sitting. But it might just be a Rhode Island finale, and then I'll post Atlanta by itself. Actually, I think that is what I'm gonna do. So stay tuned for the Real Housewives of Atlanta recap coming after this. This is just Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I decided right now because it's my YouTube, and that's what I can do. Okay, so at the top of the episode, and nothing happens for like 10 minutes in this episode. Literally nothing happens. It is like everyone's packing, everyone's talking about being at Block Island. They're just talking and talking and talking in a circle. Nothing happens until they sit down and Joellen says, I want to move forward with my drama from Liz. And they finally get up and they go talk. And Rula, in that moment, she addresses the group. She says, I'm sorry for not being around. And, I don't want to deal with the video. It's just so much drama. It's so much drama. Excuse me, Miss Thing. You've decided you don't care about the drama. You don't care about this video. That's fine. Everyone should drop it, I guess. But it's also insane. Like, and Rosie, by the way, who I gave Rosie a like us point for this, because she's like, I am not like Rula at all. I want the details. I don't want to defend a man who's doing me wrong. I don't want to defend a man who's doing me wrong either. And so I did give Rosie a like us point because she's not delusional, just Rula is. Liz and Joellen, they agreed to move forward. Liz decides to forgive Joellen. Honestly, if she would have stayed mad, it would have been stupid. But I look at Liz differently now because I felt like that was a weird setup. It was all weird. It was weird. Alicia's guy, Billy, he says he wants to reset with her, so he's making a plan. Joellen and Rosie, they talk about Rula. You guys, this finale was thin. Sorry, it was. It was a very thin finale. There's not going to be much to talk about because I feel like even as I'm recapping right now, I'm like, yeah, I'm just telling you, and then, like that was it. There was nothing really crazy to happen. Alicia got a like us point for just like needing to close her eyes for 5 minutes. Like, what? Like, that's all. That's all the points I could give. No one was doing anything. No one was doing anything. For a finale, this was like pretty weak sauce. I'm just gonna say it. Like, and I loved Rhode Island, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if this was Beverly Hills, everyone would be mad. Like Rhode Island started so good. It was like there was so much happening. I love these ladies. They deserve a second season, but they ran out of steam. They didn't know what else to talk about. They thought they needed to talk about the same topic until the cows came home. And you know what? The cows came home. The cows came home to Rhode Island, and it's now time we got to move on, right? Because Billy proposes to Alicia finally. I don't even know if we needed that as an audience, but it was very sweet and I liked it. And I like that even during the proposal, she's making digs. She's like, because other guys like me. But she's happy that the wedding can happen now. Like Alicia's like, nah, we can have a wedding because he got on his knee and he actually proposed to me. And it felt real. She deserved that. Joellen, for reasons unknown, other than she knew that this was the last day of filming, so she needed to wrap it up, she goes to Rula's room and she wants to show her the video. And Rula's like, no, there's no more storyline here because Rula is delusional and wants to live in her delusion. And I wish they let that lady's husband cheat in peace at this point because she does not care. She doesn't care. Brian and Gary talk, and Brian says, he's like, I owned up to it. I messed up. We shouldn't be mad at Joellen because I messed up, but he's still mad at Joellen. And it's like, it's not Joellen's fault that Brian cheated on his wife and then was like being sloppy about it. And yet it's everyone's fault because Brian doesn't hold anyone accountable and then like got arrested for having a tracker on Rula's car. It's all bananas. You guys, sorry. So at the group dinner, they decided to play a game, and everyone is being so. This is literally If no one else is gonna say it, I'm gonna say it because I want more for Rhode Island because I like Rhode Island. This was a bad finale. I haven't seen anyone online say that. I'm saying it. Sorry. And I'm saying it on camera because I'm on camera today. Hello, it's my YouTube and I can pop up when I want to. This is not an audio only recording today. And like, what is going on? Like, why was this the finale? And then I go, thank God it was the finale. You know what I mean? Like all at the same time. That's how I feel. We're gonna get into who the most relatable housewife was in Real Housewives of Rhode Island because this dinner was boring. All the ladies asked questions, and the most exciting thing that happened is Rosie being like, "The problem is sitting next to me." We find out that Brian put a tracker in Rula's car, and that's literally the end of the episode. It was like a nothing burger, in my opinion. Sorry if you loved it. I didn't. Like I didn't. But let's get into the interesting part. Let's talk about the overall season and what we got from Rhode Island and what their relatable moments were and what were the peak moments. Alicia is our most relatable housewife. She's the most like us on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Alicia had 45 like us points, which means that she had 9 moments. That's pretty good. Rosie had 30, which means she had 6 moments. And Joellen and Ashley tied for third place with 25 points. So that's 5 moments. So top 3 are Alicia, Rosie in second, Joellen and Ashley in third. Kelsey came in fourth with 15 points. Liz and Rula both had 10, which was only 2 moments. And Dolores had 1 moment. And Dolores is the lowest scoring friend of across Beverly Hills, Atlanta, and Rhode Island. She's the lowest scoring friend of thus far. And to that, I say maybe we don't need Dolores next season. And I hate taking the bag from someone else, but like, Dolores, you only had 1 moment that was relatable. And the friend of is supposed to be the Greek chorus. The friend of is supposed to be like, at least middle of the road. At least middle of the road. I mean, Cynthia Bailey has 15 points right now, and Kathy and Tilly, granted, they had more episodes, 18 points, but 18 episodes, but they had like 45 like us moments overall. So I don't know. I will say overall, Beverly Hills had a, a higher collective score, I believe. But let's just do the quick accounting right now. Okay. So Alicia had 45 plus Rosie's 30 plus Ashley's 25, Joellen's 25, Kelsey's 15, Liz's 10, Rula's 10, and Dolores is 5. 165 points. We're going to divide that by 5. That's 33 relatable moments in 12 episodes for the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I think that's pretty solid, not so bad. I will say that like my favorite moments that stick out, no notes, just going off the dome. My favorite moments that stick out was Rosie every time she kind of felt like she was being a normal girl. So when she's like, "Oh my god, I have no friends. Who do I invite?" I liked that from Rosie. I like Rosie being like, "I would want to see the video of my husband." Like when Rosie is grounded, that's Rosie at her best. Now, Alicia all the way through is always pretty grounded, but also flighty, right? So Alicia being like, "I need a cracker. I need this." Like her flighty and ditziness kind of feels like it's very like every girl. And Alicia's kind of like, dare I say it, she's the Julia Roberts of Rhode Island. Everyone loves Joellen. I get it. Joellen's entertaining. But Joellen's not the Julia Roberts. Alicia is the Julia Roberts of Rhode Island. Joellen is like the entertainment, right? Like she's like the Natalie Nunn of Rhode Island. She is the Nene Leakes, if you will. She is bringing big personality. She's bringing the beef. She doesn't care. And Joellen is very important to a franchise like this. Like you actually don't have the TV moments without a Joellen who's a little messy, who's into the gossip, who's sharing the tea. You need Joellen, but you need an Alicia to bring the levity and the laughs and the good time. And so I think the combination of those two is really powerful. Now, Rosie, I'm surprised is in second place because I feel like when I watched the show, I do feel like I relate to Kelsey more, but Kelsey does have so many components of her life that are, quite frankly, not like anyone I know, right? Like she's just like living with the sugar daddy, very open about it, breaking up with him, telling her new boyfriend about it. And like, I feel like we saw a lot of Kelsey's life. And usually, to get a lot of like us points, it does require a level of transparency. But I think where Kelsey falls short is because some of those moments of transparency don't necessarily equate to things that you and I are going through, right? And I feel like that's the same with Liz. Like, Liz could be super relatable to someone else, but I don't find Liz particularly relatable to me. And that's okay because I do think that like she adds value as a part of the cast, right? Interestingly enough, she's just as equal with moments as Rula, who was barely on camera. So what does that say about what Liz is actually showing? You know what I mean? I just gotta say it. Now, Ashley is interesting because she's tied with Joellen, and I think Ashley's very polarizing. I made a video about Ashley Iaconetti and like, what's her deal? Like, is she okay? Blink twice, Ashley, if you need help, because she's always crying and she seems upset. But I do think that there's something to Ashley's charm, which is probably why she's been able to be a reality show person for so long, star, if you will, for so long, is because she is being authentically herself. And I think when I look at this scorecard, I created it in a way to show when are the housewives most being themselves and do we see their humanity, even though they're on a show that is doing so much to kind of poke fun at them as caricatures of themselves and not necessarily as the most humid, grounded version of themselves. And yet, here we are. Here I rise and we see it. So overall, Alicia's our number one most like us housewife. If you agree, drop a note in the comments. If you don't agree, or you had someone else that you thought was your most relatable, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to find out. That's all we're going to recap in this video. Stay tuned for another recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I will be doing that on a separate video moving forward because Rhode Island is over. So this is just a simple finale video for Rhode Island. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel at Aaron Jones-Wesley. And if you like pop culture, stay tuned to the podcast at Like Us Pod. We cover reality TV, music, film, sports, and all of the other things. So I look forward to seeing you over there. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye.